What are red flags in a friendship most people brush away? My best friend in high school once specifically requested for me to post a picture of us for National Best Friend Day or some similar holiday. I asked if she'd be posting a picture of us too. No, I have a lot of best friends, but I'm your main best friend, so you should post a picture of us, was her response. The next couple years were full of backstabbing and gaslighting, complete with occasional fallings out, until we finally stopped speaking. Looking back, I can't believe I didn't see it coming. And then you feel guilty when you get mad because they've had a rough upbringing or something, and you feel like a bad friend and like maybe you're overreacting because you know they've been through a lot, but still you want to vent to them about your problems because they might be able to sympathize, but then you think that their problems have been worse than yours, so you really can't complain because in comparison you don't have shit to complain about, and they don't call you or text you for a few months, but suddenly they get into an argument with somebody and they're always in the right and they need somebody to reassure them that they deserve better. Sounds about right. Same with the last friend that I had. I came to understand that a big part of it was that she needed attention, and a lot of it. So she required a large circle of friends, but only spoke to a select few consistently, and everyone else was a backup to another backup friend, so she never felt lonely. It sure as fuck made me feel lonely though, and I knew I was better than that, and I'm sure you're worth more than that kind of garbage too. Edit. This example only correlated, but does not mean this is the case for every situation like this. If you ever feel unsure about your place in someone else's life, talk to them about it. By opening up, you eliminate all uncertainty. Worst case scenario, you know where you stand and whether or not you need to move on. Be excellent to each other. And then you bring this issue up and they give BS reasons, like it's hard for me to care about something I don't know about, or even further you're being sensitive / erratic / emotional, and you just sit there thinking I'm sure glad I still attentively listened to all those times you bored me with your financial spreadsheets you made to decide what car you would buy. Ugh, I had a friend like this. She literally blocked me on social media when I was doing well at my job because she couldn't be happy for me, but then she sends me messages on a weekly basis about how great her very ordinary office job is. Edit. There's nothing wrong with office jobs, she just acts like she's the first person to ever have one and expects people to be excited for her all the time. Friends who are good to you when one-on-one, but constantly put you down in group settings. This is a big sign of insecurity / jealousy. Other signs: inappropriate attention-seeking behaviors, trying to twist the situation on you when confronted about things, not respecting your boundaries, is super friendly with new people, but in a disingenuous I wanna be like the most way, constant gaslighting, getting mad at you for not going by the exact same moral playbook as them. When in group settings they get really uncomfortable and try to change the subject or put you down extra if attention is on you. Acting they like can take constructive feedback, but actually taking it out on you in small ways throughout the rest of the day. Edit. Thanks for all the upvotes and the silver. Wish you all the best of luck in ridding yourselves of toxic friendships. Don't go wasting your time on people who don't treat you with the respect you deserve. I'm currently struggling with this. I thought my best friend and I were really tight. Yet I found out she was pregnant on Facebook. Found out she was engaged on Facebook. Weird, but okay. I guess she likes spilling the beans on social media. Lately, this new girl, who I didn't get a good first impression of, is now hanging out with our immediate circle and she asked me, "Did you know she had a pregnancy scare?" Great. My best friend hasn't texted me for weeks and now I find out you two are really tight. That stings. And now I feel like shit. I don't mind her hanging out with new people, but the fact that I've been ignored hurts and just causes jealousy. I don't know. I feel like crap lately. Lol. Really jealous and possessive friends. I'm a jealous person by nature, and even though my jealousy flares up when I see my friends hanging out with other people, I would never let them know. Why? because I don't want them to feel bad about doing the things they love. Having a social life outside my little world. If a person tries to box you up because they want you all to themselves, it's not a proof of love or companionship. True love, in any kind of relationship like friends, family, lovers, is shown by respect and allowing the other person to have free will. When you hang out with them, it feels like you're defusing a bomb when there's nothing going on right then. Edit. Why is my highest rated comment about the one friend I gave up on due to his need to yell at me over the smallest things? But seriously, I didn't expect so many people to have this problem too. Thought I was the only one who didn't realize this right away. I had to let go of my best friend because of this. With my real friends I could always just respond to a text message with the first thing I thought of. With this girl I felt like I had to carefully consider what I was saying and then reword it several times before I could hit send, because I didn't want to be dismissed or berated in any way. That's not friendship. I had a similar friend, and what I realized far too late was when someone's personality and treatment of you changes based on who they are around, they are not worth the effort. I had a best friend growing up and we were always very close. But once we got into high school, he would be totally different based on who was around. It got to the point where we'd have plans, but if someone he thought was cool invited him to something, he'd do that and never even bother to cancel our plans. So I'd show up only to find out he was doing something else. Similarly, it eventually led to arguments and issues until we just stopped talking altogether. Asking a genuine question here. Please don't attack me for this. What can I do to improve my awareness of this? I often find myself to be that friend, and I struggle with asking people about themselves because often I don't take enough time to consider their experiences. My upbringing didn't prepare me very well to function in social settings. In addition, I have a personality disorder, so it's like my mind doesn't see much beyond my own experiences and feelings. I really never wanted to be this kind of person and often find myself in shambles and alone because people got tired of talking to me or rather listening to me. I truly want to be able to become a better friend material, and I like to think it's never too late to try. Yes, I knew a guy like this in high school. He kept trying to get other people to leave out group, and he'd always try to manipulate the rest of us into hating them. He tried it with every single person in our group, and I'd assume that includes myself. He actually did manage to get one person to leave, but everyone else wouldn't listen to his shit when he tried to turn it onto them. I knew the guy since 6th grade, and I wanted him to leave 4 years at that point, but I never knew how to bring it up without sounding as toxic as he did. Anyway, it's not like he had any other place to go either. He had no other friends besides us. The guy was also super smart, and he was in this accelerated program so he could graduate high school a year early. There was one other person in our friend group who I was getting the impression didn't like him either, so I admitted to her that I hated him, and she agreed with me, to my relief. After he graduated, the rest of the group and I all admitted that we couldn't stand him either. We all shared stories about the awful things he did, and we were all closer than ever in our senior year. After that, the toxic guy also tried getting in touch with all of us at one point or another after he graduated. None of us ever answered him. Funny enough though, the guy put one of my friends in a group chat together with people in his college at one point, and they clearly hated him just as much as we did. It was nice knowing that jackass got what he deserved in the end. Good vibes only friends. That mentality is fine to have with yourself, but you can't force that on others. My best friend adopted this attitude, and from then on, whenever I would come to her for support or advice on an issue I was having, she'd cut me off and say, "RRR. Good vibes only, remember?" Because I was bringing her down. I put up with it for a long time, because I thought she was right, that I was burdening her. But then I finally realized that that's not how real friends act. They're supposed to support and help each other. Edit. Thank you for the silver. And many people are bringing up how some people set up boundaries because they are going through something themselves and can't help someone else at the moment, or that the person will only come to them for negative things. I completely agree. Neither extreme is a healthy friendship. I find that there are some people you call when there's a party and some you call when there's a problem. It's about expectations, knowing what kind of friend this is, and either accepting it or not. Now, cutting you off to make it clear they aren't interested in your problems, that's another level. That's a jerk. But a friend you can't expect to be there when it isn't fun, that's not necessarily a bad person or a bad friend, just not a great friend. And it's not such a bad thing to have friends who will always show up to hang out, and different, probably fewer, friends who will hang out and be around for things that aren't fun. Heck, when I think about it, I'm each of those kinds of friends to different people. There are people who, if they called me for anything, I'd be there. And there are people who probably don't have that expectation and only invite me to things that are fun. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.